Have you ever wondered how some people just seem to keep going day in, day out and have a well-balanced work life? Hi there, it's Ota Osese, and welcome to my web series. In my life, there was a time when 100 different things were competing for my attention. While a part of me felt angry, anxious, and tired, another part felt a heavy sense of resentfulness about my daily routines and patterns. I ignored my mind's intense need to power down and my body's raging cry for rest because I thought there was so much work to be done and not enough time to rest. But when I started having prolonged pains in my chest, headaches, and dizzy spells, I knew I was on the cusp of burnout. Maybe yours isn't a physical manifestation. Perhaps at the moment, you know you have things to do, but you feel miserable and wonder what the point is. You notice that you're easily distracted and spend more time on Bet Naija or checking your phone than actually accomplishing anything. You dread going to work, and in your work you find mistakes and errors that you would not have made in the past. You may still get your work done, but you have no real motivation to do it. If this is close to portraying your workday, it's possible that you're experiencing burnout. People with high-intensity jobs like bankers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, sales reps, or even small business owners are particularly prone to burnout. But they are by no means the only ones who suffer from it. Burnout can be caused by any number of variables across the professional spectrum. Long hours, constant work pressure, and general work frustration are just some of the things that can leave any worker feeling like they're on the verge of mental, emotional, or physical breakdown. Going on a vacation or setting aside a few days to refresh at home can reset the stress clock temporarily. However, we need alternatives to battle the effect of workplace burnout permanently. In this episode, I'll share with you 4 ways to overcome burnout and get yourself back on track. Way number 1 is to acknowledge burnout for what it is. One major sign of burnout is a feeling of being physically and mentally exhausted, unmotivated, and tired. Another sign is when you stop seeing the people you work with as individuals and start seeing them as burdens instead, which builds up an increasing sense of frustration. And then another red flag is if you're noticing that you're working hard for very long hours but actually accomplishing a lot less than you used to. Once you recognize the signs of burnout that you're manifesting, overcome any bad habit you've embraced because you feel tired and unmotivated by taking an inventory of how much you may be drinking or eating, or how much sleep you get, or the toxic relationships you have, or how much screen time you consume, or the negative thoughts you permit. I know what I'm about to say sounds like a broken record, but your mood and stress levels will greatly improve with more sleep, exercise, and good nutrition. It may be tempting to try to minimize unhappiness at work with plenty of happy hours at the club or midday Kit Kat breaks, but the physical benefits of exercise, eating, and sleeping well far outweigh the temporary burst you may get from short-term fixes. Also, try to cut down on your screen time. Screens can cause pressure on your eyes, leading to headaches and increased feelings of fatigue. Way number 2 is to take occasional breaks during your workday. These breaks are necessary throughout your workday to help you recharge and de-stress. Physically and mentally, we work best in bursts of 30 to 90 minutes, followed by 15-minute breaks. Routine breaks lead to improved general work satisfaction. Don't wait until you feel exhausted to take a break. You may skip the optimum productivity window and unnecessarily drain yourself. There are many fitness, lifestyle, and performance advantages of taking breaks that are research-backed, like boosting productivity, stress release, flow of creative juices, and practicing healthy habits. Keep to a schedule so that you work when you're most productive and rest during periods of counterproductivity. Way number 3 is to make your self-care a priority. Alongside taking occasional breaks, it's important to replenish your physical and emotional strength by prioritizing time for yourself, paying attention to what you need, being kind to yourself, fostering social interactions, and activities that enable stoicism and well-being, such as prayer, meditation, writing, and practicing gratitude. This will help you find ways to reduce your exposure to activities, individuals, and circumstances that are not necessary and that put you in a negative mood. It would also help you increase your investment in those activities that lift your energy and create space away from work for a more restful and productive time. By learning to do things that fulfill me, I bounced back from my period of burnout. I also became much more intentional with my time. And by so doing, I've had more brilliant ideas and I've been able to better associate those ideas with each other. If you don't know where to start, you need to get your hands on a book called The SelfLove Experiment by Shannon Kaiser. I found out about that book and I'm reading it. It's an absolutely necessary guidebook on self-care, mental health, and wellness. In today's culture, putting oneself before others is frowned upon. There is an intense fear of being considered selfish or heartless, and as a result, we often self-sabotage and compromise to meet the needs of others. The SelfLove Experiment hones in on this huge problem and above all, promotes self-love and self-acceptance. You can get it from Amazon. You may probably want to read the whole book at once because it's profound, but pay attention to part 5 because it speaks directly to tackling corporate burnout and depression. And way number 4 is to recognize that it may be time to move on. You may be at a phase where taking occasional breaks, self-care, or even reducing your workload will not improve how you feel. And this could mean your time in your current job is coming to an end. You don't necessarily need to worry about finding a more senior level job or having an entire career shift or starting up your own business. Of course, if that's what you want, you should definitely go for it if you can. But sometimes, even something as simple as working in a new environment might beat the burnout. If you work in a large corporate organization with presence in several locations, you may want to request for a functional change to a similar role in another location. Another option is a divisional change. For example, if you've worked in the retail division for a long time, perhaps a move to the corporate or wholesale division will provide the change you need. Otherwise, if you are at the stage where you know that no amount of changes in your current job will help, it might be time to update your CV and seek out job openings. Or alternatively, take time off to reflect on a new career and ways to forge that path. We're conditioned to think that you shouldn't quit a job unless you're moving to something better or you're financially independent. While that is valid reasoning, the truth is that people just need a change sometimes for the sake of change. It's doubtful that burnout will simply vanish on its own. So you need to really take an objective look at yourself and your work. By making the required emotional and performance adjustments, burnout can be eliminated. And as Arianna Huffington said, don't just climb the ladder of success that leads, after all, to higher levels of stress and burnout, but chart a new path to success, remaking it in a way that includes not just the conventional metrics of money and power, but a third metric that includes well-being, wisdom, wonder, and giving, so that the goal is not just to succeed, but to thrive. It's important that you recognize the symptoms of burnout early and work to stop them. Remember that when you're gone, you can't take your money or work with you. So make sure you enjoy the here and now and create a balanced life worth living. Regardless of what they told you, work isn't everything. And that's what I have for you for today. Now my question is, have you ever felt drained, unmotivated, or actually hated going to your job or business? What did you do about it? And what steps did you take to make long-term changes? Head over to otalsese.com and let's discuss there. If you like this video, subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends and loved ones. And to receive weekly updates on living life on purpose, how to deploy your best self, and practical life and career advice for subscribers only, go to otalsese.com and sign up there. Be mindful and stay grateful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
you.